Good day, students. Today we will be doing a new topic in grammar, modal auxiliaries. In the previous class, Miss Anna explained to you the topic auxiliary verbs or helping verbs. So, modal auxiliaries are also helping verbs. Now, what are helping verbs? Helping verbs are used along with the main verb. They are used in front of the main verb. Now we see that a regular verb can be used in different forms. For example, if I take the verb sing, I can use it in many ways. I can say, I can sing, you can sing, we had been singing, we will be singing a new song. So you see, we can make many tenses. But you cannot do this with a modal auxiliary. So let us see the definition of modal auxiliary. A modal verb is a type of helping verb that is used to express ability, what you are capable of, a possibility, what is possible, to ask permission, to state a condition, to give advice, it shows advice, or obligation, a duty. So a modal auxiliary always comes with a main verb. And a modal auxiliary verb gives information about the function of the main verb that it governs. It is used along with the main verb. Now let us list the modal auxiliaries. So you have can, could, may, might, must, ought to, shall, should, will, would. These are the main modal auxiliaries. Now, it's easy to remember, girls. What you can do is you can remember it in this way. Can, could, shall, should, may, might, will, would, and then what remains is must and ought to. In some of the books you will also find the word dare, need, etc., which is used as modal auxiliaries. But if you remember these few modal auxiliaries, it will be good enough for you to use it in your grammar. So let's now look at what is the purpose of these modal auxiliaries, or what is their function. Let's look at the function of these different modal auxiliaries. Let's take the first modal verb, can. Now, can is used to express ability or permission. Let's look at some examples. Now, when I say Ravi can speak English, it shows ability. He can speak English. Now, you can go to the park, giving permission. I can play football, again denotes ability. He can sing very well, again denotes ability. So you see, the modal auxiliary can be used to show ability and permission. Let us look at the modal auxiliary could. Could is used to show past ability, possibility, permission, and request. Let's look at the examples. He could play cricket. So when I say he could play cricket, I am expressing a past ability. He could play cricket. The crime could be stopped. So there was a possibility that the crime could be stopped. So it shows possibility. The students asked if they could go home. So here it is asking for permission. Could you go with her to the hospital? Here I am making a request. So I make use of the word of the modal auxiliary could to show request in the last sentence. May. May again can be used to show possibility, permission or request. Now let's look at the examples to make this point clear. Now I say the girls may stay out late. Okay, they may stay, that's a possibility. May I use the washroom? You're asking for permission. They may be too busy to answer. Again, a possibility. May I ask you a question? A request. It may rain in the afternoon. Again, here it denotes possibility. That something is possible, that it may rain. It is possible that it may rain. It is possible that the girls may stay out late. Let's look at might. Might is used to show condition and possibility. Let's look at the examples. If I try again, I might win. So there's a condition here. I might win if I try again. It might rain today. Here it denotes possibility. It may be possible. It might rain. He might come today. He might come. Again, a possibility is seen with the use of the modal verb might. Let's go to the next one. Must. Now, must is used to denote obligation. That is obligation. You have a duty towards it, and also to show necessity. Let's look at the examples. You must speak the truth. It's an obligation. It is a duty. It's your duty that you must speak the truth. Raji must finish her work. A necessity. You must do your assignment. Something that is necessary. A necessity. Let's look at ought to. Now ought to again here denotes advice or probability. You ought to get your hair cut. 3 minutes ought to be long enough. Now here the first one was an advice. You ought to get your hair cut. But the second one shows a probability. 3 minutes should be long enough, ought to be long enough. You ought to receive an answer by next week. Again a probability. Now let's look at shall. Shall is used to denote a request or to state an order. Let's look at the examples. Shall I play the guitar? What am I doing here? I am making a request. Let's look at the second one. You shall not deny my order. Here it's an order. You shall not refuse. You shall not deny my order. Again the third one. You shall go to school. Again it's an order. You will go to school. So here shall is used to denote an order or a request, as in the first one. Shall I play the guitar? Now let's look at should. Should again is used to denote or to show advice or probability. Let's look at the examples. You should save your money. Advice. The cinema ticket should cost a lot. Probability. It could happen like, that the ticket would cost a lot. We should go home. It's an advice. That it is good that we go home. So an advice is given. So here are the uses of should. Let's look at the next one, will. Now will is used to show willingness, a request, a condition, a command or an order. Let's look at the example. I will take out the trash. What is it? The willingness to do something. Will you wash the dishes? Request. If I see him, I will tell him the news. Here there is a condition. I will tell him the news when? Under what condition? If I see him. You will finish your work at this instant, at this moment. Here it is an order. So students, I hope you have understood the uses of will. Okay, in what context we use the modal auxiliary will. Let's look at. Now let's look at the next modal verb, would. What is the function of would? Now would is used to show a past ability or a request. Let's look at the example. Every Saturday I would go on a long bike ride. So here it shows past ability. Now let me take the next sentence. Would you clean the house for me? Here it's a request. Would you like to read his speech? Here again it's a request. Would you like to do something? So here again it is a request. So you have seen the uses of the different modal verbs. Now let's look at few more sentences to revise what we have just seen. So students, let us look at few sentences and identify the modal auxiliaries. Children should obey and respect their elders. Which is the modal auxiliary here? Should. And what does it denote? An obligation. I could play hockey when I was young. I could play, a past ability. You may go home if you want. The modal auxiliary here is may. And what does it denote? A condition. If you want, you may go home. This tablet might cure his headache. Possibility. It might cure. So might here is the modal auxiliary. We must buy that house. A necessity. We have to buy that house. Okay, so must is the modal auxiliary. And finally, shall we start dinner? Here it is asking for permission. Shall is the modal auxiliary. So I am sure that you have understood the different modal auxiliaries and how they are used, the function. Now girls, following this video, I will be posting a PDF with the examples and with the different modal auxiliaries and the examples. See that you put it down in your grammar notebook, and also an exercise that will be sent in the PDF. See that you complete it. So thank you girls and have a nice day.